Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's now the 26th of June and we're on our way home again. Friday night, nearly 6 o'clock. Best laid plans are leaving early, sort of went out the window as usual. Don't know why that happens. Actually, I do know why it happens, because I was spending far too long running around the warehouse in some sort of vain attempt to get on my exercise circle, well, get the exercise circle on the Apple Watch to progress further round than it has been of late, because it seems every time I post a screenshot of the Apple Watch, the Apple Watcher, at Apple Watcher, always seems to reply with, just look at how little exercise you've been doing this week or today or whatever it is. So I'm determined to get at least one where I've got all the circles filled up. So yes, I'm going home late because I've been running around the warehouse trying to be exercising. So what's been happening this week other than me running around the warehouse? Good news for me anyway, no one else, but for me, we managed to get to beta 2 of iOS 9 and also Apple WatchOS 2, although that took considerably longer to get hold of than would have been anticipated. It seemed Apple made a bit of a boo-boo with that one, and obviously they released it surprised everyone because they released the betas on Tuesday, and everyone thought it would be Monday because it's normally 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks they come out. It's normally on a Monday, and you know they're always shut up unbuckling seatbelts. They always normally do it. They release the betas when they have WWDC. You get the first one then, and then 2 weeks after you'll get the next revision, and it should follow every 2 weeks, really. It follows a pattern. But yeah, everyone expected it Monday, it didn't come out Monday, and then it came out Tuesday instead. But they seem to have made a bit of a mess up with the WatchOS in that they basically made it available to everyone on iOS 9 who had an Apple Watch. Instead of it being sort of to developers only, because normally you're supposed to install a certificate, signed certificate for being a developer to the watch, so the watch then knows it's on a developer account and then it's eligible for the upgrade. Now, I mean, normally you wouldn't think so much of it was a problem, because if someone's on our iOS 9 they should be a developer anyway, so they could put their watch quite merrily with WatchOS 2 on and the developer preview of that, and it wouldn't be so much of an issue. But the problem really is, first off, you can't downgrade the Apple Watch from WatchOS 2 to anything else. Well, to 1.01 or 1 even. You just can't downgrade it. And you can't use WatchOS 2 with iOS 8, any iOS 8. So effectively, once you're on WatchOS 2, you're stuck with WatchOS 2 and iOS 9 beta permanently until the release comes out, I suppose, really. So it's obviously not great, because everyone who was on iOS 9 beta with an Apple Watch got a notification that they had an update for their watch, and if they didn't particularly pay attention to what it was telling them, they wouldn't perhaps realise that they were going to be updating to WatchOS 2, the beta pre-release, and that would have caused a bit of chaos really for Apple. So there was a hasty sort of shutdown of the watch beta release. I ended up waiting another day till Wednesday to get hold of it. Then I still couldn't see it as an update, and puzzled about that for a while. It turned out it was because you could have reinstalled the developer certificate so that the watch knows it's eligible for the build, and I totally missed that bit. So once I'd done that, it then let me have the update, and that seemed to actually not take as ridiculously long amount of time as the first one did. So that was a bit better. Much better battery life, both on iOS 9 and on the WatchOS as well. iOS 9 is now on my 6 Plus back to how it always was, which has been, you know, throughout 8 and 8.3 betas and 8.4 betas. It's much better, and like I say, really pretty much as it's always been. So very pleased to find that. Watch wise, because I have found that certainly on the first one, installing any third-party applications or glances caused me issues. I thought, right, I'll just hold off a day and see how I get on with the battery with no third-party apps glances installed. So I did that for the first day, and it was much better battery. You know, it lasts well throughout the day. It had probably done a good 22 hours, I think, in total. So so that was all right. And then today, well, last night actually, I started installing third-party apps to sort of compare and some glances. And today the battery hasn't been as good as it was without those, but it's still going to last easily maybe 19-20 hours. So definitely those sort of issues have been resolved. General issues with glances aren't resolved, in that sometimes they take forever to load or don't actually seem to ever get loaded, and I don't know if that part of that issue then causes battery drain, you know, if it's constantly trying to load a glance content and it's never getting it pulled up from the phone. So it'll be interesting to see if, as apps become native on the watch, the glances are equally pulled from the app rather than from the phone, and if that improves the glance performance, because that would be quite good. So yeah, we'll wait and see on that, but generally things are a lot better now. I was going to wait until beta 2. I installed beta 1 a bit early. I shouldn't have done that. I was a bit of a fool, but you know, you live and learn, don't you? So we'll see how we'll get on with this one. Really been getting into using this sort of system-wide search that iOS 9 has. Actually is very good. I'm going to like it, because I do a lot of searching about in mail. I tend to use mail as a bit of you know, a repository for everything. I leave a large amount of mail behind, and then if I need to refer back to something, I'll hunt for it back through mail, just put something in, and it'll come back from whenever. And this sort of system-wide search works really well. It's probably going to mean I can, instead of just searching in mail, search via the sort of springboard search, but that'll also hunt through like your notes and text edit sort of things, really everything I think you've got in iCloud pretty much, as well as in your phone and your mail and whatever else. So that's really a very powerful, and I think going to be a very useful aspect in iOS 9, that sort of full search feature. I think I noticed, I went to Maps, I don't know if it's new or not, but Maps sort of pulled up, not only was it looking at my location, but it then presented places I could go to that I might, you know, to eat out, get things, stuff like that. There was all this sort of extra locational stuff popping up within Maps as well, and that was quite interesting. So yeah, that could be quite good if they're going to do that as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it, without going too much on about it. Yeah, iOS 9 beta 2 really stable, nice, a lot of good features in there now, so it should be rock solid for the future. Other things I've been up to, playing some games on the PS3. I was having a go with Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, which I've had it for ages actually, never got around to playing it, and the youngest sort of started to get a bit into it as well, so we had to plough through, and well, I ploughed through it and finished it actually, so that was good for me to finish a game, because I normally get bored quite a way through, but I had a little helper just encouraging me to keep playing it, so he could sit and watch me play it. He has about a few minutes go and then decides it's a bit hard and wants me to do it all. So that's a really good game. I enjoyed that actually. It's I never understand this at all. You look at the bloke you're controlling, is that third person or something? I forget what all the game options are, but yeah, you can actually see your man, and then so you see him running about and you sort of fight with him and jump on platforms and things, and there's a multitude of different moves to do with it. And it's just playing through all Star Wars stuff, so you get to he's got 2 lightsabers, so he's not like a sort of a Darth Maul character. He's supposed to be a clone Jedi, which is one of Darth Vader's sort of experiments to clone a Jedi and turn him to the dark side. But you failed as far as an experiment, because you've sort of defected from the dark side and you try and escape, and then you go back to the cloning facility. And it's quite good. In the end, you head off against Darth Vader and battle him with your lightsabers. So, but there's plenty of running about and killing stormtroopers and various types of different convoluted robotic things that keep trying to attack you. And some really nice sort of Star Wars based scenery and TIE fighters flying about and things. So that was a really good game, enjoyed that one. PS4 had something called Exploding Zoo, or Super Exploding Zoo. We're having a look at that. Quite the most bizarre game, and I can't quite figure out what we're supposed to do other than you control lots of these little cute sort of animated animals, different types like penguins, and there's like I suppose little hamsters and things. But you have to group them together to attack things. It's very confusing. And I think there's these squid things trying to eat eggs, the squiddy things, and you've got to stop the squiddy things eating the eggs by collecting together all your little hamsters or penguins or whatever, get them to all group and run together, and they have to all attack the squiddy thing at once. So they all blow up at once when they go near the squiddy thing. And then you win the level when you've managed to blow up the squiddy thing, if you've got enough of your little hamsters and whatever to group together and get him. So it's quite good. And we've got into it a little bit, had a bit of a play about with it, so that was all right. Super Exploding Zoo. If I actually figure out what we're supposed to do on it, it might be more entertaining then. But yeah, it was all right. Work-wise, yeah, it's been busy as usual. Nothing too exciting happened this week, to be perfectly honest. Just the same old plodding along, sending out ridiculous amounts of posted items for Amazon and eBay and whatever else, and then general large amounts of stuff for everywhere else. So let's try and not run over the small children, and then I'll get parked and we'll be done. So I hope you've all been having a good weekend. I hope you're going to have a good weekend. You've not got there yet. I don't know, if you watch this Sunday, then you'll have had a good weekend. Who knows? I'm not getting up to a great deal, I don't think, but who knows? Wait and see. And yes, like I say, not a great deal, except the fact I've got a working phone and watch again. Hooray! Not a lot else has happened. So I will, yeah, I'll catch you all next week. Oh, nearly forgot. I actually uploaded something other than me driving and talking to a camera. So if you get a chance, I'll leave the link. Do make sure you view my my quick Apple Watch Super black strap review, leather black strap, just to change it from the sport model a little bit. Okay, have a good weekend. Bye.